YouTube, what's going on? Back here for another video. This time, man, I did a haircut tonight, so I just want to give a basic review on doing a wave, a 360 wave taper, popular haircut. I would say in terms of the black barbershop, probably 70 to 75% of your haircuts are tapers, you know what I'm saying? Bald tapers on waves or straight hair with the, using a razor too. So it's a basic haircut, common haircut. And I was able to do one tonight on my guy CJ, consistent client of mine. So yeah, man, I just wanted to run down the steps of doing a basic bald taper on 360 waves. I took his beard off and gave him a nice little goatee. So normal cut that he gets every time he comes. So just want to run you through the steps. The first step you need to do is pick the hair out and make sure everything is nice and even and just picked out, especially with waves. Because I feel like if you don't properly pick out the hair, when you cutting through the hair, everything's not gonna be even. So even though it might seem like I don't know, a small, unimportant step, it's actually one of the most important steps. So first, yeah, pick out the hair. Second step is once you got the hair picked out, find a guard that's the length that the customer wants. Like I said, he has thick waves, so I throw a 1.5 on, pop it on my Babylisses. What's the ones? These guys right here, 1.5 guard right here. I'll pop it on and I just go through the hair. Go through the hair, you know what I'm saying? Stroke, comb, stroke, comb, stroke, comb. Keep picking and making sure you go through the scalp evenly. And you probably gonna have to I probably made 5 or 6 passes just with his hair, just because I'm trying to get everything nice and even. Then after that step, dust them off. And then with CJ, because he just gets a goatee after I've got everything picked out and cut down to the appropriate length, I make his bald lines. I do the bald lines on the sides, then I do the bald lines on the back, and then I take his facial hair off. Take his facial hair off. That's the next step, and then I just start on his goatee just to get that stuff out the way. So I make his bald lines, take his facial hair off, and then I get his goatee together. The next step after that, and this is a step that I think is kind of unique to my style of cutting. I got it from Chuka the Barber, and it just happens to work for me, especially when doing a natural cut, because CJ doesn't get enhancements, but it's to put a line on the head. I put a line on his front. I did the front with him, then I did the sides, and then I did the C cups. Then I worked my way back to the back. Come on, baby. You see me doing the video. You want to be in the video? You want to be in the video or no? Come say hi to the people. This is my daughter, Skylar. She's 3 years old. Say hi to the people, baby. How old are you? What you got? And I got a baby Sarah. And baby Sarah need a haircut? Yes. We'll cut her hair later, baby. But how about go back upstairs, let daddy finish this video, then I'll be right back upstairs, okay? I love you. I'll come back later. As y'all see, that's why I do what I do, so we can have the little one taken care of. But yeah, I clean up his face. I do his goatee. And then because he's getting a natural cut and I still want his line to pop, I put a rough draft line on his head first. So like I said, with him, I did his front first, then I did the sides, then I did the C cups, then I did the back. And it all depends, man. Sometimes I like to do the sides first, just to make sure I have, the side lines, so it's a little easier to get the front line. But it all depends, customer to customer, and just sometimes with just steps. Sometimes I might not take the same steps the same with each client. But with him, I put a line on first, did his front first, then I did his sides, then I did his arches, and I made sure I used the finger technique to make sure both sides are even. Then after I did his line, I started with the fade on the tapers. You know what I'm saying? I took the guard off, opened the guard all the way up from my first guideline, and I didn't put in like a heavy guideline. I lightly, flicked out and made my first guideline on the front and in the back. Then after I made that first guideline, now it's time to fade it in. So after I went all the way full, I went halfway, and then flicked that line out. And because these clippers aren't all the way zero gapped, where are they at? I pulled out my 1919s, lever all the way closed. These are zero gapped completely. And I was just able to flick that line out all the way because I put in my bald line with my Babyliss trimmers, and those are zero gap. So I needed something that can get close enough to remove that line all the way. So that was the next step. And once I got that in, and then I picked up my 2, opened it all the way up, and just flicking and just working my way down, fading my way down. And then occasionally when I'm fading up, I'll flip the clipper all the way around if I got the 2 on, and just go with the grain just to smooth everything out. And I'll repeat that with the 2, the 1.5, and the 1. And I'm pretty sure I don't even think I had to use a zero guard with CJ just because of the way I flicked and the way I was able to use the corners and all of that. So once I got the fade in there, I just retouched the line to make it sharp on the sides and the back and just in the front, just to go over your work, make sure everything is right. And then after I finished the fade, finished the line, finished his face, pulled out my straight razor, was able to just fine tune everything, get all those little hairs, and just make the line as crispy as possible. And when I do the razor on CJ, I make sure I pay attention so there aren't any bumps to go over or anything like that. Because if you have the straight razor, I'm telling you, listen to me. If you have the straight razor and you go over a bump and you bust that bump over, it is gonna be a mess. Blood everywhere. And some people, like, the bleeding will not stop. So I would tell anybody, before you apply the straight razor, check the skin and be wary of any like bumps, and make sure when you stretching that skin, you going around that bump. Because I'm telling you, if you hit that bump with that razor, it's gonna look crazy. But I was able to pay attention to what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Get the razor line in there nice and sharp. And then after I gave him the razor, I got my shears out and just went over the top to get everything nice and smooth. I took my Babyliss all the way closed and did a couple of strokes over the top of the scalp to get everything nice and laid down and smooth. Then went over his line with my shears, got any hairs that stuck out. And that's the cut, man. All natural, 360 wave taper with a goatee. I would tell people, man, enhancements is cool. I like the way it can make a hair pop, but you got to be sharp without enhancements. And see, I used to give CJ enhancements, but just in terms of his scalp and just like, his skin is kind of sensitive. His dermatologist suggested that he not get that anymore. So we just been rocking natural ever since. And his haircut's been coming out pretty crispy. So enhancements is dope. I use them. I like them. But if somebody says they don't want enhancements, you got to be just as sharp and just as on point with your skills if you didn't use enhancements. But y'all, man, I love y'all. Y'all got to see my oldest daughter, Skylar, aka Scoots. I'm gonna edit this up and probably have this out tonight. And y'all be on the lookout for some stuff I got. I've been definitely keeping my head down and been grinding with this pod, and I got some heavy hitters coming. Not gonna give away the names, but I'm gonna just say, in terms of the barber game, I got one of the GOATs coming on my show. I ain't gonna say who it is, but like, it's one of them interviews I'm gonna just be mad. I'm gonna make sure I'm right that night, make sure I'm on point, and just get as much knowledge as I can from this individual. But I got 2 more. I got one for sure Monday, one for sure Saturday, And another one I'm looking forward to and trying to lock in with, who's another GOAT in the city in terms of basketball. So yeah, man, Cut Talk 525. We got some momentum. So I just ask that y'all keep rocking with me, keep supporting me, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, man. It only helps, man. It only helps to get to the goal. So y'all take it easy. I love y'all, and we out. Bedtime.